Hello and welcome to Let's Ride Around Europe, day 15. You're joining me in Wolfsberg, where I've made an unscheduled stop. I mean, pretty off of my plan already, because I replanned earlier, but this is unscheduled even on my new plan. Because I just stopped at Zweirad door and got a new rear tire fitted, and it didn't take that long. I think it was like 30-40 minutes. They also tightened up my chain, which has been annoying me for a while now. Yeah, new tire, which is good because my tire was bad. They didn't put a sport tire on, they put a sport touring tire on, which should give me a little better longevity at the cost of a little worse road holding. But it's a Pirelli, so it matches the front, so that's good. And yeah, away we go. It is beginning to rain. I have forgotten once again to do my thighs. I did all of my other zips up except my thighs. The hell. I wonder if this is the red that I encountered in Slovenia, and I'm just like, it caught up to me while I was stopped. Oh, I'm totally speeding. Careful now. Yeah, I'm really happy that that got sorted out, because although I've lost a bunch of time to it, I don't actually know how much time I've lost to it. I'll find out. Actually, I'm not sure I'm capable of making that calculation. I don't think I wrote down the numbers were. Oh, I could, because I remember what the numbers were. It was 2 hours 15 from where I was. I have no idea when I set out from there, but we're all like in wonder of my Energica motorbike, which, yeah, it's still a novelty. It's so much of a novelty that I'm gonna once again complain about not getting the electric discount at Großglockner. Yeah, we're on our way. I think that Spielberg is the next significant place on the way. My charge is in Leoben, and Spielberg is on the way to Leoben. And I think Spielberg to Leoben is boring enough that I'm not going to bother recording it. I mean, it'll be recording, it's just that, you know, I won't be treating it as a thing that's being recorded, if that makes sense. Yeah, Leoben's our next charge stop. I totally forgot to say what today's trip is, because, yeah, I mean, if you've been watching all along, you'd probably be like, oh yeah, we know where we're going. But if you haven't, I started out this morning in Ljubljana, and I am now on my way to Vienna. I'm just gonna quickly check that you are actually recording. Can't see it. Yeah, it is. Cool. Good. I kind of turned it on and forgot to listen for the beeps. Because sometimes, you know, it can be like a little easy to fumble the record button and you feel like you pressed it but you haven't actually pressed it. It's kind of cool. Mill? I guess it's a mill. It looks kind of fortified. It's a bit weird. You guys are probably like, what is he talking about? But I think you've got a wide enough field of view that you can see it. Unfortunately, fortunately, those were the tires that I did all of those amazing passes on, and now, like, yeah, now I've got fresh tires with giant chicken strips on them, which I'm going to need to scrub. This is really cool. This is the kind of thing I was hoping for rerouting this way, was that I'd get more of this kind of stuff. Because I think the other way would have been a lot... There would have been some like cool roads, but it would have been mostly like plainsy, rolling hills type stuff. Whereas this is more like enjoyable... more enjoyable roads, basically. It is a little wet. But it's not like wet, an issue wet. It's just wet. Here and there. Like that bit back there was wet. There was a little bit of rain in Wolfsberg. Yeah, 12k for a set of tires. It's that's something I'm gonna have to account for. I love like how the accounting for this bike just doesn't work out. You're just like, oh, but you save so much in petrol. It's like, no! Yeah, you save a bunch in petrol and you save a bunch in maintenance. But you have to do so many miles that you're just buying new tires and new chains. And for me at least, like the insurance wipes out any savings to start with. But it's good that I got that done. Need to take it a little bit easy on the tires initially until they've scrubbed out. It doesn't take a lot to scrub them off. And there's a certain amount of myth to it. Like they used to store tires like a waxy compound on them that would prevent them from going bad in storage. That's a lot less of a thing these days, like modern compounds don't need it, but brand new tires are kind of like smooth, but the initial surface doesn't quite have the same stick to it, so you do need to be careful that you're not pushing it too hard on an unscrubbed surface. So what they say is, yeah, for the first while, just go easy on it. And yeah, like by the time I get to Ljubljana, it should be grand. I'm getting a phone call. Please hold. Recruiters, they're just rabid. Oh, that poor lady. She's clearly like Indian, or perhaps Pakistani. You never know. But like, I talk a bunch about how, like, oh, this name, I'm totally butchering it. Yeah, it's so hard for them to get my name right. Like, you might look at my name as an Anglophone, if you're an Anglophone, and be like, oh yeah, this is totally easy. And even if you're, like, even if you're a European, like maybe you're French, German or something, my name is not that hard. You probably get it like a bit wrong, but like my surname, McGuinness, like Guinness is a brand that you know, and you know Hugh is a name that exists with various variations across Europe. So like Europeans don't really have a huge problem. Like I might get called like Hugh or something like that, but yeah, people with like a background in an Indian language just they get it so wrong. And I'm not laughing at Indians here. I'm laughing at myself too, because I get all of these names totally wrong. It is funny, like when you are not competent in another language and you have to pronounce things from it, how badly you can get it. Yeah, that was quite a nice little bit of road through that valley. It was pretty cool. I don't know what we've got coming up ahead. I know we've got another St. Leonard. We did a St. Leonard a while ago on day 11, I think it was. But we're not doing an episode break at this St. Leonard. I did check to see if it was an appropriate place to do it, but it wasn't. I do have a little bit of a reciprocating? Periodic. Sorry. I do have a little bit of a periodic sort of tick that I can feel through my feet. I suspect that's just the chain. There's probably like a slight binding bit or something that I wouldn't have noticed when it was loose, and now that it's tight it just like ticks a bit when it hits the sprocket. It creates a little bit of vibration. It's just like that's nothing to be concerned about. Chains are a necessary evil, in my opinion. Zero love their belts. Harley are really big fans of the belts too. But I'd rather have a chain, especially with the kind of power that this thing's putting down. Like it would just, you'd blow it. You'd blow a belt. Just too much. And that's certainly something that Zeros are kind of known for. But you know, you've got the other side as well. You've got shaft drives. Shaft drives more like what you have in a car, if you're unfamiliar. But those have their own issues. BMW are big fans of shaft drive. And you know, they sound amazing, but they're quite heavy. They sound amazing as in like when you look at their stats, you're like, wow, okay, this is really cool. But they're heavy. They don't have as much maintenance, which is really great. They're very popular for touring bikes. That's why BMW likes them so much. There's a tractor in front of us. It's really annoying. But they also have their downsides. You know, they don't require a lot of maintenance. But when they do go wrong, they go wrong. That's bad St. Leonard. So it's like St. Leonard Spa. Yeah, when they do go wrong, they go wrong. And I know some bikes with some bikes with them can have like weird torque characteristics where, like, when you accelerate it pulls the vehicle to one side. Partly Moto Guzzi's do that a lot, and not just from the drive, but like the actual engine itself. Moto Guzzi's are cool. They are cool bikes. I don't know that I'd have one. Like they're one of those bikes where it's like, I like that this exists. I think it's very cool. I wouldn't drive one. But that said, I've yet to meet like a Moto Guzzi driver that I didn't like. Especially like that really cool guy in the Black Forest. He stopped to make sure I was okay. And then like hung out and chatted while I charged up. He was cool. And his bike was cool. And he was like, yeah, it's character. I'm like, yeah, emozione. That thing that people say electric bikes don't have. But yeah, I think Moto Guzzi are cool. I don't know how they will adjust to electric. I suspect Moto Guzzi have put literally zero thought into it. They are probably in that Ducati camp of like, we'll never make an electric motorbike. We couldn't make an electric motorbike that had the emotion and the character of our brand. We will make bikes that run on synthetic fuels. I suspect that's the Moto Guzzi attitude. Because Moto Guzzi are not owned by Volkswagen and did not have Daddy Corporate come along and say, excuse me. Which has not been stated to be the reason Ducati did a massive about face on electrics. However, when you look at the facts, you're like, this is suspiciously convenient. Yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a wet one here. That's okay. This is why, through all of that blistering sunshine and rusting heat, I had my water covers with me the whole time. I've not put them on the tank bag. I've not put them on the tank bag because I had to get it out and stick it on. But the tank bag is kind of like in a reasonably safe place from water kicked up from the road. It's only really going to get wet if it rains on me, which so far it has not. Although, there's a distinct chance. I'm just going to ride in this bit so we don't kick up so much water. And yeah, my rear bags are going to get pushed in. Yeah, my rear bags I've noticed do get a lot of water pickup. This big bag is going to get some. It's going all brown with the rain. Yeah, the big bags can get some, but most of the stuff in the big bag should be reasonably well protected, unless like it really buckets it down. In which case I might just stop and wait for it to go away. Or go into like a supermarket and get some black plastic bags for additional protection. Ooh, bees! Should maybe just leave a little more of a gap. Because this guy might just stop somewhere. And we're a heavy bike with new tires, and it's wet. It could be being all responsible. That's not how it's supposed to go. He's going annoyingly slowly. I guess because it's a Zoe. Yeah, see, I didn't pass him there because that car was coming. I'm annoyed that you've done this because now I would have to pass both of you. And that car is going. See, I could have passed him there. You dick. I got it free with the bike, but I would have bought it even if I hadn't, because I got like a package, like the run out of last year's colorway essentially. They gave us like some extra touring stuff, and one of the things I got is like an extra splash card for the rear. It's quite effective, but it's not like, it's not perfect. I didn't feel super confident, but it's okay. We just like the rear tire feel as we rolled off into that 70. This is quite nice. I'm liking this. We're getting some nice mountainy stuff again. Once more, we are in forested terrain, which kind of limits like the prettiness that you get to see. As does the spray. You get a bunch of it off this truck and that truck. Guys are wide. Regular wipings. Full-on camera. The way to go in these conditions. Yeah, some nice roads. Quite open. It's got broad curves. Yeah, it's not the most amazingly tight technical road, but it's one we can make pretty good progress on while still having a bit of enjoyment. I suspect actually if I'd stayed south, it would have been drier. Because we're up in the hills, that's probably causing the clouds to unload on us. We're not actually getting rained on though, which is nice. It has rained and everything's wet from it. unfortunately, my hands are going to be wet, and my cuffs are going to be wet, and probably by the end of the road, all of my lower arms are going to be wet because I've only got summer gloves with me. Well, that's the thing. Do you know what? I should have just bought some winter gloves. Well, not winter, like all seasons gloves, rather. I was literally at a bike shop. I'm an idiot. I was stopped at a bike shop buying stuff. Oh, I'm an idiot. I mean, we already knew this, but this guy's lifting so much spray. Then, like, the Swiss one actually means something, whereas, like, I don't recall Austria having a special class of, like, car roads. This guy's right behind me. The red car earlier. Past us while we were behind the Zoe. I'm not sure he understands, like, the concept of it's wet. Oh, so far the tires have been okay. A few roll-offs have done, hard roll-offs have done, and been pretty alright. So that's good. I don't know if this is Spielberg. No, it's Obdacher. Look at those hills, like the mist. Oh, I love that. See a lot of that, like, just motorcycles are like, okay, it's wet, I'm putting the dapper on over our regular motorcycle kit. Now there's a reference I'm not sure that anyone watching this will get. It's like basically the motorcyclists are wearing like a plastic oversuit that just like keeps the wet off. Like a dapper is a fishing thing. Like, you know, if you ever see like videos or images of like fishermen out in the high seas getting splashed in water and stuff, and they're always wearing like these yellow sort of coveralls that keep the water off. That's a dapper. I don't know what it's called in other parts of the world, but that is what it's called where I grew up, in a fishing town in the northwest of Ireland. It's kind of like a stiff canvas with a, I think it's plasticky outer cover. Probably it'd be like oilskin in days of yore. background, you know. And I'm sure a whole bunch of you are like doing the you know, math floating in front of the face of me. You're like, so it was mountainous, but also fishing at a town but rural. It's like, yes, yes it was. The mountains are not very big. I said this before. They're like a couple of 100 meters, but the terrain was mountainous. That's the important thing about it. It's not like, you know, the mountains, quote unquote, might not be much bigger than these hills, but they're rocky, thin, crap soil. It's mainly like heather and heath, bog. There's not very much trees. Some of it is steep. And like all of the habitation is just like clung to bits along the coast, and little U-shaped valleys that sneak in from the coast. Some of them are V-shaped, some of them are U-shaped. There are some kind of dramatic views. I think Granyash is a good one. Like really obvious. But then there's a lot of like other ones that are really V-shaped. I grew up in a V-shaped one. And then my hometown, which is about 3 kilometers away from where I grew up, it's just a little town like clung to the coast in a ria. A ria is kind of the same deal as a fjord. It's a valley that flooded when the seas rose. I don't really know the difference between a ria and a fjord. I guess a ria is shallower. Not quite in terms of like the water, but in terms of like the terrain that it's in. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was the biggest fishing port in Ireland, and you might be like, but it's rural? I'm like, yeah, it doesn't take a lot to be the biggest fishing port in Ireland, to be honest. Look at this. Oh, you can see it. It's like some rocks up there. There's a remains of some kind of, I guess, a castle it must have been. That's the look of it. Eppenstein. Keep my distance from this car. Not just for safety reasons, but just because like he's throwing up spray. And the spray kind of doesn't just like get on the camera and the helmet, it also gets to be wet, which I don't like. I'm getting some drip drops, so I might be getting rained on. It's not very heavy, but here it comes. And that means that I'm probably going to find somewhere to pull in, because I don't want to have wet legs. I do not want to have wet legs. We're in like a broad valley now. is kind of like direction that I'm basically going. So that's not good. Get a lot of spray up on my helmet. Because this truck is going slow and it's holding everyone up. And I keep creeping close because, like, I don't want to be going slow. Hopefully we're going that way and not that way. But my understanding of the geography of this trip is that, unfortunately, that is unlikely. I knew I was going to get wet at some point in this trip. I should really have packed the other gloves. But, you know, I don't want to make another stop.
500 meters. At the roundabout, take the third exit.
Like, just to buy gloves. Third exit. 1, 2, 3. I think she said third exit. I'm gonna find out imminently. Oh, there's a lot of. I don't know if you can see, but like that truck's tires are dirty, and they're leaving like a trail on in the water on the road. There's quite a lot of surface water. 1, 2. Oh, we could go camping and fishing. 3. Ooh, towards Pabst. And Judenberg. Judenberg is on the way. I think it's a place that I saw when I was rerouting myself. Did I talk about that? I don't know if I talked about that this episode. You know, I'm with that guy, but somewhat safer. Yeah, no. No, we'll not be doing that. I mean, I would love to, but can we? Can. I half expected that red car. Remember the red car? He was still behind us. I half expected him to just be like, yeah, fuck this, I'm going right behind the bike. But, nope. We are now definitely getting rained on. And that's bad because, the vents of my thighs are open and they're on the tops of my thighs. And I will get wet legs. I'm gonna have wet arms anyway. No way of avoiding now. Gosh. That expansion joint was a little slippy. Too fast. It's worth noting that this leg is 128 kilometers. And it's not as hilly as it appears. There's a nice rip in there. Hit that as square on as we can. And it's not the rear tire that's experienced that, it's actually the front tire, because the front tire is obviously hitting it at a greater angle because I've turned it. Oh, well. That was a waste of cleaning the lens. Let's just do it there. There we go. I'm gonna try and keep the camera lens clear, but yeah. saw Farrak at some point. I'm trying to remember where on the map Farrak was. I want to know what's over there. Over there looks clear. Over there looks scary. Severe rain, we got some rain.
600 meters. At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Just enough to be annoying. Second exit, okay. This feels like it should maybe be a 70. Yeah, feels like it should be a 70. Let's just say second exit. Okay, yeah. Spielberg is still ahead. Gives me an idea of where we are. Oh, there's a lot of surface water on that roundabout. I really don't feel confident about it. I just don't really know these tires well enough yet. Luftfahrt Museum. Oh, there's a little airfield. I had considered going further north, up to St. Gallen, but St. Gallen would have been like 180 kilometers. Yeah, you know, I would have needed to charge somewhere, and then at that point it would have been so far north that Google would have tried to take me around like the northern plains. Whereas we're still actually in the mountains. I know this looks like a plain. We're kind of just between two sets of mountains in a valley. Whereas if we'd continued north towards St. Gallen, we'd have been kind of up near the northern flats, where places like Linz are, you know, what Danube is. And that's not really where I want to be, because then Google's going to take me north and around, whereas what actually I want is to kind of broadly hang a right somewhere around here. Now it is properly raining. I do not like that. And I do not know in which direction the rain is going compared to where I'm going. Because if the rain is going west-east, I'm going to be very unhappy. Not just because, like, it's really hard to keep the lens clear enough for you guys to get a decent view of what we're seeing.
400 meters. At the roundabout, take the second exit.
But just because, like, second exit, by the way. Just because, I mean, I don't really want to get wet. Second exit? I think she said. Post. Okay.
Exit the roundabout.
So we go like proper this way. That means we're getting quite close. Come on. It's really irritating when people do that. When they just like really slowly accelerate. It's like, dude. I think this is Spielberg. Given that that's far over Spielberg, so yeah. Oh, my hands are wet. It's raining. This is unhappy. But I think this is gonna make for an end of the episode. 'Cause yeah, then I can stop like constantly wiping you, and I think it's just gonna be like the Todd of Spielberg, and then what looked like some really slow road from Spielberg to Ljubljana. It just like was through towns and stuff. It looked like trafficy. So if you got stuff to say, hit me up in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And check out some of my other videos, because you know there's a whole bunch of them like this now. You should enjoy them too. And yeah.
400 meters.
Hey, come on,
At the
good one.
roundabout, take the second exit.
Second exit. If you do enjoy them, consider subscribing, hit that bell, and if you would like to reward me for entertaining me today, you can find my coffee link in the description below. Bye bye.